With more than 1,000 palm trees lining the property in a vibrant Caribbean color palette, Homestead-Miami Speedway delivers a South Beach vibe unlike any other major racetrack in America. From the moment you arrive, this place feels different, and it wasn't always just about the looks. Finding the right formula here took time. The original layout featured 4 distinct low-banked corners, more like a mini Indianapolis than a stock car oval. The racing suffered, and the crash angles proved unforgiving. Even widening the aprons couldn't solve the problem. A major reconfiguration in 1997 brought sweeping 180-degree turns to each end of the speedway. An improvement, but still not quite the answer. The breakthrough came with the introduction of progressive banking, corners rising to 20 degrees, straightaways flattening to just 3, and suddenly, this track came alive. Multiple grooves, high-speed options, and racing that rewards bravery, balance, and strategy. At Homestead-Miami, the beauty is no longer just skin deep. Tonight, under the South Florida skies, it's the ZeroX Strategy Series Miami Beach 125. And it's coming up next, right here on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway Season 3 of the ZeroX Strategy Series. It's the Miami Beach 125. Taking a look at the race details tonight. Well, there you have it. 125 laps the distance, 65% fuel load on board, 2 sets of tires, 0 fast repairs, 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Double checking that information. It is accurate. I know there was some talk prior to the race tonight about making some changes. Looks like everything is still the same as we had originally planned. Looking at weather-wise, looking pretty good. 73 degrees, kind of cool here in South Beach. 87% humidity, that tracks. Partly cloudy skies, 15-mile-per-hour breeze. It does get a little windy down here in South Florida. Temperature on the track, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll go down trackside right now and see who's got the fast time. It is the 9 of Austin Walton, Raymond Hanneman, Brandon Moore, Jim Treat, Carson Youngblood, the current top 5 in practice, as it's about to come to a close. Just under 2 minutes remain. Dustin Rogerson in the chat says a slight car setup change, but other than that, that is all. Still fixed setups, just some slight modifications tweaked towards the race. Just about a minute left in this practice session. Already got a couple of guys, Carson Youngblood being one of them, working that Larson line just inches off that outside safer barrier. And a little too close there into one. Youngblood catches the wall just a touch on corner entry. Before we get too deep into the woods, again, we got to thank the sponsors for this series, the ZeroX Media and Design, Admin Box, Snowbelt Industries, Youngblood Racing, and Fueled Up. That's Sisler in the 31, 16th quick in practice. He's had a strong few races, picked up the win at the All-Star race, won the regular season race prior to that. Almost picked up a win at Pocono prior to that, so he's been on a tear here in the last few weeks. And that'll do it for the practice session. We'll get right into qualifying immediately after this. So don't go anywhere. We're not even going to take a break here. We'll get right into it. See who takes to the speedway first. Looks like Robbie Good will be the first to roll out. Robbie starts his lap, across the line, takes the green flag. Robbie trying to push the limits of that high lane, not too close to the wall. Got to get a clean lap in here, and you also don't want to throw away lap 2 if you make a mistake here off of turn 4. Crosses the stripe, 33.053 for Robbie Good. Oh, in the fence on lap 2. That'll do it for his second lap as Hanneman goes P1. So Hanneman with a 33.005. Sounds like Raymond's grabbing a gear on a corner entry there, way up the racetrack and out of the throttle. Meanwhile, Vincent Short throws down a 32.88. Does Hanneman have more here off turn 4, cross start finish? And he doesn't. 33.002. Vincent Short fastest on his first lap. See if he can pick it up. Lap 2 in the books for Short. Little slower, 32.949 for the number 15. Chris Stange was a 33.5 his first lap, likely a planned throwaway compared to the top spot. Vincent Short, 32.880. Stange across the line, 5th quick, 33.036. Now Jason Aranchak ran at 21. Ranchak taking a different line here as many other drivers. A little low on the racetrack through 3 and 4. Opens up the wheel, hammers the throttle down. And Ranchak may have made contact with the wall somewhere out there, so his lap invalidated. Sisler was 15th quick his first time around. Does he improve? Yes, goes up to 8th, keeps it above 33 seconds with an 0.94. 8th in line, 25th, his first trip around, 33.597. Picks it up on lap 2 with a 37. That may do it for just about everybody. There's a couple of drivers at the bottom of the field here. Jim Treat, Jackson West, that made an attempt, didn't lock in a lap. They're sitting in pit lane here with less than a minute left in the session. That may do it. And as some of you already noticed, 2026 brings a new look here to the Track Limits Network broadcast overlay system. Still working with SDK. They've been loyal to me. I've been loyal to them, but they've updated their timing towers and the like to more closely reflect what you see on TV with the NASCAR broadcast. So we've gone ahead and done the same with some custom colors for this particular league. Hope you guys like it. Hope we don't have any bugs tonight. We've had 2 races under this new overlay so far, and we've had a little issue here and there, but nothing crazy. Fingers crossed. So 5 seconds or so left in the session. Not likely to see anybody else head on back out. They won't have time to complete a lap, so that'll do it for qualifying. So it's time. Let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 32.880, it's the Track Bar Motorsports machine. The 15 of Vincent Short. To his outside, the 16 of Carson Youngblood. Almost 3/4 of a tenth off the pole. That's how fast that lap was for Short. Row number 2, it'll be Jason Blaney and Chris Cornett. Row 3 belongs to Raymond Hanneman and Chris Stage. Robbie Good, the number 77, will roll off 7th. Johnny DePasquale in the number 1 will start 8th. 5th row, it'll be last week's winner at the All-Star race, Matt Sisler, starting 9th. Tom Janikowski rolls off 10th. Wesley Jeanette, the number 74, will start from the 11th position. Starting 12th is Blake Hochschild. And there's the glitch we were worried about. Can't get this to cycle through. Tommy Pulte will start 13th. 14th, Scott Stockel. 15th starter will be Austin Walton. Jason Aranchak will be 16th. 17th position, Brandon Moore. Ken Lowry will be 18th. Darren Jones, 19th. 20th starter, Juan Linares. 21st to be Don Canwright. Derek Buckaloo, 22nd. Nathan Line, 23rd. Austin Boyum, 24th. Chris Pieria will be 25th. Michael Thorne, 26th. And the last 2 drivers in the field in the final row, it's Jim Treat and Jackson West. Pace truck rolls off a pit lane, the field to follow suit, and to the back, it appears our pole sitter, Vincent Short, will be one of them. Dustin, when you get a chance, pop those in the stream chat so everybody knows who's going to the rear. There's a handful, it looks like.
We going green this time, bro? Negative.
It looks like they have waved off the 1 lap under the caution car, so we're going to go 2 laps under yellow before we get underway. So that's going to move everybody up a little bit here. Carson Youngblood, and it looks like Raymond Hanneman will now be the front row. Hanneman will have the inside lane. All right, so we'll cross the start finish here. Now we are on the 1 to go. So the next time across the line, we will be racing here from South Beach. Take another quick look at things. The race details tonight. 125 laps the distance, 65% fuel on board, 2 sets of tires available over the wall. That gives them 3 total for the race. No fast repairs available tonight, and only 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish if necessary. Track temp cooling as the sun sets here in Florida. About 77 degrees Fahrenheit. That cooler temperature will yield to a little bit better handling instead of the midday sun that we see so often here in Miami. Almost might want to throw another yellow. There's a lot of guys back there out of order or not lined up. Got a big break. Which actually could turn out to be a good thing if you think about it. Looks like we're going to go. Hanneman and Carson Youngblood on the front row as the pace truck gets ready to make the left turn down into pit lane. There it goes. Barney with the green in hand, ready to throw it. There it goes. We're racing from Homestead-Miami Speedway, and there's trouble on the start.
Good job, bud. Tell me what you got quickly.
Big pile up coming to the start-finish line to get this one underway. Either somebody jumped the gun or somebody just didn't go. It takes out a lot of drivers on the opening flag. Wow. That's a tough one. Matt Sisler was one of them that I saw sideways. It looks like he's been able to drive away, but let's get a look. Watch it from the drone cam here. Sisler in that second row. I don't know if... I think it's Cornette there. Might have spun the tires on the start because he just slipped down into the 31, and then it's chaos after that. Ken Lowry coming in a hurry. Obviously, it's hard to throw your mind back to hitting the brakes as the green flag is coming out. Watch the 88 machine. I think it just takes a quick left turn into Sisler. Oh, he made contact with Youngblood, but Youngblood was actually having some connection issues at the same time. That may have contributed to it as well. Dustin's got to be pulling his hair out already. That's going to be a hard one to unpack after the race. So through that, Hanneman ends up with the race lead. Chris Cornette back on pit road. I want to take another look at this and see if we can catch it from his roof cam. In fact, let's go real time here so we can hear the engine. Doesn't sound like he spun the tires or missed a shift, but he definitely got into the back of Youngblood. I just got to think that it had something to do with a little bit of net code there with Youngblood as he blinked out right as that happened. Well, we're going to try it again. I want to remind everybody there are no fast repairs tonight. So all those drivers involved there, they had to take that trip to pit lane and get as much damage repaired as possible. We are lined up double file here, ready for the restart yet again. Front row again will be Hanneman and Youngblood. Hanneman on the inside. Row 2, it'll be Wesley Jeanette, Tommy Pulte. Behind them, it'll be Austin Walton, Jason Aranchak, Juan Linares, Nathan Line, Darren Buckaloo, Tom Janikowski, the top 10 as we're set for, I guess we can call it a restart, but it's kind of like the start because we really didn't get moving yet. Pace truck's in.
Green flag.
Hanneman out to an early lead. Hanneman out to a half-second advantage over Carson Youngblood. Wesley Jeanette in third. He's back 8/10 from the leader. Then it's Wesley Jeanette, Tommy Pulte, Jason Aranchak, the top 5. The driver stepping out of line and outside the top 10. I think it might be Michael Thorne. Thorne in a blank number 14 this week. The number is correct, but still working on the paint scheme. I know we had some problems last week. I'm sure he'll figure it out at some point or another. The driver that was stepping out of line there is 9th place Derek Buckaloo. Runs alongside Nathan Line. This would be for the 9th position, or the 8th position, that is. And the line has the 8th spot. After that lap 1 incident, we do have 3 cars a lap down or more at this point. Chris Cornett, Ken Lowry, and Darren Jones. Buckaloo settles in behind Nathan Lyne, switches lanes, goes to the top here, going to build some momentum on corner exit. Maybe that's the way around. Nope, not enough. Lyne slams the door on Buckaloo. Lyne now up the racetrack, trying to run down the drivers ahead of him. Never mind Buckaloo. But Buckaloo, got to pay attention. He's there to the inside now as they run down the front straightaway. Lyne will power back around on the outside, sticks his nose just ahead of the 81, but battling back down low. Buckaloo has the run off. Good battle here. Again, 4th position, the 8th spot, just to the backside of the top 10. Michael Thorne running inside the top 10. So far, a solid run for the 14. He's gained 16 positions so far. Buckaloo now finally clears Nathan Lyne to move the 81 up into the 8th spot. Tom Janikowski and Treat side by side as the 76 of Jackson West spanks the wall just a touch. Continues on. Here comes Jason Blaney looking to go 3 wide off of turn number 2. Brandon Moore checks up enough to keep it double file, and Blaney, unable to complete the pass, will go after it again here in turns 3 and 4. West gets into the fence again there off turn number 4, so he's trying to walk that fine line, stepping over it a couple of times here in the last lap or so. Meanwhile, Hanneman continues to lead, 7/10 plus back to Carson Youngblood. Carson running well in that 2nd position. Bit of a hornet's nest back here in behind Chris Stange. Stange in that number 72. He's got a small battle ahead of him as well with Hochschild and Thorne side by side. Let's go on board with Chris Stange. Stange gets clear of the 91 of Blake Hochschild, so Chris now into the top 10. Again, he started up into the 6th position, lost some ground there, I think having to do with that first incident to start the race, but car looks pretty clean, and obviously it's fast. He's still cutting his way through the field. Dustin in the chat says roughly 40 laps on a tank of fuel. That is good to know if we continue to run clean and green. 16 laps in here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. We had a big incident to start the race in the first, I'd say, 50 feet from the green flag. Been running pretty well ever since. Buckaloo in line, battling for position yet again. Chris Dange is going to come in here and spoil the party, I think. He's running down the 38, swaps lanes, goes to the top, might go up the middle. Nope, runs in behind Buckaloo. T. Kangas in the chat. Quite a bit already. I love it. Thanks for doing it. Keep that stream chat busy, everybody. We love to see that. I pay attention to it as much as I can. I got a million things to look at, but I'm always checking the chat. Blaney now working his way through. He gets clear of Chris Stange. Will Stange battle back on the outside? He still has to worry about Nathan Line there. It's going to kind of slow his momentum, dump some dirty air on the nose of the 72. Doesn't seem to hurt him, though. He had a big run off turn number 2, all over the back bumper of Nathan Line. Still trying to battle with Jason Blaney on the bottom. Blaney gets through, he gets 2 for 1 there, gets Stange and Nathan. Might get another here with Buckaloo being to his outside. And Buckaloo in the fence. Superficial damage on the 81. Actually, no, right front looks like it's taken a hit. Not a severe one. Let's see if we can get a better look. Sheet metal looks straight. Chris Stange still in a battle here, running in that number 72 machine. In about the 9th position, now fighting with 81 yet again. Buckaloo's got some strength in that race car. Things didn't get started the way he wanted, but man, pounds the outside wall here off of turn number 4. So Stange cleanly now into the 9th position as Buckaloo continues to make contact with the safer barrier, and I think it's Tom Janikowski in trouble. Smoke showing off turn number 2, gets to the bottom of the racetrack and continues on. Is he coming to pit lane? Yes, he is. Tom Janikowski, smoke still coming out of the back of that machine. Doesn't look that bad, but something is amiss there on the Tom Janikowski Chevrolet. Sandra Nielsen in the chat. Let's go, Johnny D. Granny knows you'll come back plenty of time. Love it. Absolutely love it. Tom Janikowski, what looked to be a relatively minor incident out on the speedway, comes to pit lane here, and he's shut the car off. So something amiss there on the 93 machine. Don't know if it was mechanical. He's got some damage on the car that he's trying to fix, but nonetheless, it's not running, and he's going to go down a lap or maybe more here in relative short order. Meanwhile, Raymond Hanneman still out in front. Started in the 5th spot officially. Really started on the front row with EOL penalties. And want to make mention here, we've got Zach Millett joining us in the broadcast booth, making yet another cameo appearance in the Track Limits Network booth. Zach, thanks for jumping up here, man.
Hey, Steve, it's good to be here, man. That plane from Georgia last night took forever, so I'm just getting here.
Should have taken the red eye.
Yeah, you're right. Would have been way quicker.
You should have drove. It's Georgia. We're in Miami.
It probably would have been a better idea.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's good to be here to see the last 100 laps at least.
You're known for speed, not for bright ideas.
Northern New York's finest.
There you go. Raymond Hanneman still out in front here. He's led every lap to this point, holding a 1 second advantage over young Carson Youngblood. Jason Aranchak back in third, 4.5 seconds in the rears. It just shows you the pace that Youngblood has been able to stay up there, only 1 second off the back bumper of that 85 machine. Tommy Janikowski in the chat says over 6 minutes of damage, good grief. Yeah, the car didn't look bad, so he's got some kind of suspension issue, maybe broken toe link, something to that effect. Oh, Ranchak in third, scrapes the wall off of turn number 2. Wesley Jeanette's right there with him. Ranchak, good run off of turn 4. He's able to hold off the charge from Jeanette for now, but Wesley taking a look back to the inside. Zach, I know you know a lot more about this car than the ARCA car, so Homestead-Miami Speedway in the late part of the day with the Gen 7 car. What's the best way to be fast here?
Oh, man, well, it's multi-groove. You can be fast a bunch of different ways, which makes it so fun. But if it's hot and it's the next gen, late in a run, man, that high side's pretty hard to beat. It's even if you were making speed on the bottom, it's hard to get enough speed on that exit to clear the guy on the outside. So the later we get here, we might see some attempts for some slide jobs, and it's going to be hard, though. It's going to be a difficult thing to pull off.
Right now, the difficulty is in Jason Aranchak trying to keep the car off the wall and also keep Youngblood and Walton behind him. Aranchak and Walton behind him. 29 laps in so far. Raymond Hanneman has led them all. We've got 1 caution for 3 laps, and it happened in the first 50 feet of the race, taking out a handful of cars, 3 of which were put a lap down almost immediately because of it.
Yeah, that's another thing you see at this place with the higher temps. The restarts are just really scary. You see a couple guys trying the first gear restart, and it's usually not a good idea.
Austin Walton working the outside lane around the 84 of Aranchak. May have it done here if he keeps it off the wall. Has a good corner exit. He does. Wesley Jeanette, though, hits the outside wall and still within just a couple of feet off Aranchak and has the run down into turn 1. Jason Blaney is going to follow him on through, or will he? Certainly has the intention. Dare I say, Raymond Hanneman may have company here pretty soon as we're approaching our first round of green flag stops, but Carson Youngblood has cut that 1 second deficit down in half to less than a half second now as they roll down the back straightaway. May have a battle for the lead here before our first round of pit stops. So, Zach, I'm going to pick your brain a lot tonight, especially because we're running the A car tonight. I know with you and the Conti boys, that's something you do quite a bit. But I'm going to ask, don't give up too many secrets. With green flag stops coming, what is the best way that you're willing to share to get on and off a pit lane here and gain time on everybody else?
Well, I got to say, I've done probably just a hair over 200 laps today in the open A's and top splits. And I'm telling you, that was the toughest part of those races, is watching people try to get to pit road. And there's really not too much to it. You gotta make sure you slow down enough before you yank the wheel left and get on that apron. The transition is so, it's hard to describe. It's so steep that once you turn left and your car kind of bottoms out, the back end will kind of try to turn away from you and spin you out. So it's pretty tough, Steve. It's almost easier to keep it in a higher gear and just roll it in.
As a precautionary statement, do a lot of these guys kind of roll the brakes to the front of the car, trying to keep the rear end stable on pit entry? I know you lose a little bit of time in doing that, but you lose a whole lot more if it comes around on you.
Yeah, it kind of benefits you on both, because if it's too far up and the temperature being this hot, you can lock it up real easy and miss the entry, which obviously will cost you a lot more.
So fuel window roughly 40 laps. Again, we got a little bit of a change in that with the opening caution laps. We've switched it from 1 to 2 just to get the field right and serve the EOL penalties to start this thing off. Within a caution almost immediately. Nobody even broke 100 miles an hour. Well, maybe Hanneman did, but most of the field was wrecking there as they cross start finish to get this thing underway. So that's going to add a little bit to that fuel window, at least on this first run. T. Kangas in the chat says, I didn't realize how much the drivers shift each lap here, and it probably changes quite a bit throughout the course of the run, Zach. I mean, you may grab a gear on occasion to have a good exit. I don't know what your method is at this place, but it seems like everybody's shifting.
Yeah, it really depends on the setup, but I don't know what kind of fixed setup we're running, but you could actually run it either way. And if some of these guys are saving fuel, they could just leave it in fifth and not really lose that much. And it does help your exit quite a bit if you're not in fourth and kind of pinning the throttle.
Just saw it there. Hanneman, a very rare mistake. The car pushed up the racetrack with some lap traffic just ahead. It allowed Youngblood to get within just a few feet of the race lead, and he is right there here, lap 37 here at Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Looks like Youngblood is ready to make the move. He doesn't want to wait until pit stop, Steve.
Can't say that I blame him.
But this is what I'm talking about. Without being able to clear off that exit, that top line just has such momentum.
Side drafting the hell out of him down the front stretch into turn number 1. Youngblood's going to get caught out with some lap traffic, however. Sisler was one of the drivers involved in that incident, and I believe the 217 of Darren Jones as well. But Youngblood is clear, but he doesn't take the position. Gentlemanly driver, the one behind the wheel, that number 16. He could have slide jobbed up in front of Raymond Hanneman, but he's got more respect than that. Keeps it down to the bottom. Again, pit stop's coming soon, so you don't want to risk too much. I think he might have him here. There he goes. Hanneman's going to swap over here, take a look back to the inside, try to take the lead back as he pins him behind the lap car, Matt Sisler. Sisler just drives it into the fence to make room.
That was a pretty good move by Sisler there just to get out of the way. That shows a lot about his clean driving right there.
Dustin Rogerson in the chat giving us some tidbits on the setup tonight. It's the iRacing fixed as the base with some tire pressure changes, rear ARB adjustment for a little bit more stable exit. I have no idea what he just said. Zach does.
Tight fixed. Really, really tight fixed.
I mean, it seemed to have worked, and it seems that it builds even tighter here at the end of the run because even Hanneman's having trouble hanging on to it. Those really fast guys out there, they like a loose race car, so now when it's getting tight, you see Youngblood's able to take advantage. He's been able to hang with Raymond the whole first run here, 40 laps in, as he's going to come to pit lane. Locks him up just a bit, Zach. We talked about that. Here comes the Ranchak as well.
Hopefully got it moved down in time.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. No black yet. So Blaney now up into the second spot. He qualified third, but I think he had to go to the back as well, or might have. No, I don't think he got caught up in that incident. In fact, that penalty might have saved him. Dustin in the chat again says, real tight on entry, especially. 4 tires and fuel for Carson Youngblood. They'll drop the jack, throw some extra fuel in it, and head him back out onto the speedway. How long will it be for Hanneman to come back down? His fastest lap of the day, a 32.86. The last lap, a 34.15. So some fall off here at Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Yeah, crazy fall off. We're going to see Youngblood on those fresh tires. He's going to make up a ton of distance on Hanneman when they eventually both pit and come back out.
So how long does Hanneman wait? Does he come now?
It's hard to say. I mean,
nope.
If it stays green, if it stays green, I mean, maybe he just wants the newest tires at the latest possible, you know.
Sun setting here at the Speedway. Track temperature is only about 78 degrees to the start of this race. As they stand right now, let's take a look at it. See it there on the right hand of your screen. Track temperature 79. It's actually gotten a little bit warmer. Cloud cover dissipated a little bit. The sun popped out, but still nowhere as near as 130, 140 degrees that you may see here midday, as Hanneman does finally now come to pit lane, and everybody, not everybody, but some are going to follow. Blaney, Austin Walton. Yep, it's going to be a good portion of the field. Jim Treat stays out. Pole sitter Vincent Short stays out. He's going to show in the second position now. Vincent Short, remember, put it on the pole here tonight. Almost 3/4 of a tenth faster than the next closest driver. And Blaney gets turned, headed into his pit box. The 81 of Buckaloo was there to the inside as Blaney tried to turn in.
Oh, and Blaney might be too far left. Let's see if they work on it. No, still trying to get it in there.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. He could lose a lap here if he's not careful. I mean, he was second coming in, but that was a lot of time to lose.
And that's so tough on iRacing because most of the cars are ghosted on pit road, but as soon as you get near somebody, it's like they pop right back.
Oh, 3 wide on exit, and he almost gets caught in another one.
Good grief.
Holy camole. I almost had to use my bleep button.
Well, keep a firm grip on it just in case, Steve.
That was nuts. Jim Treat with the race lead. He comes to pit lane. Wow. Lots of action all of a sudden here as we're under our first round of green flag stops. Jim Treat going fuel only? Yes, he is. A long stop, but fuel only for the 367. Again, only 2 sets of tires over the wall here tonight. He's trying to take care of it and save a set for later on, so pay close attention to the 367 before this one's over. He might be a factor, especially with an extra set, maybe a little bit of luck and a late caution.
I tell you though, Steve, with the pace fall off, what are we talking, 3-4 seconds a lap? I mean, if he can stay on the lead lap, maybe get a caution, might bring him back into this towards the end, but boy, he's going to need some help.
Going back to our first pitter on green flag conditions, Carson Youngblood, you were talking about the advantage he would have. He has taken over the race lead over Raymond Hanneman, but Hanneman is right there, less than 3/10 behind him. Interestingly enough, it's kind of a smart move for Youngblood because the longer in the run you go, it seems the more evenly matched he is with that 85 machine. So right now, he's not going to worry too much about Hanneman taking the lead away because he knows at the end he may be able to run him back down.
Yeah, he's just kind of getting a head start on this run, really. So, but I like what he's doing here. He's just rolling the bottom. He's keeping that left front hooked on that white line. It really does hook the car around and help it turn.
Cloud cover back over the speedway. That'll cool things down a bit. Across the line, Youngblood continues to lead. Third place now, Austin Walton in the 9. He's back 5 seconds from this battle. Shows the pace these top 2 have had here tonight. Checking on Jason Blaney here after that disastrous first pit stop. Still on the lead lap, shown in the 13th position. He was able to drive up through the field from the back. Got there at about the end of that first green flag run. No doubt he should be able to do it again. And now he's in a little bit less traffic, so he can just run those laps, race the racetrack, work on getting caught up.
Yeah, this might put him in kind of a precarious situation here. If he gets another 20, 30 laps on this run and doesn't catch the lead group that much, it might put him in a situation where he might want to gamble. You know, maybe not take a set of tires that next pit stop and have one for the end for a possible caution. You never know.
Well, over the years we've been calling races. We've had Jason Blaney in other leagues. This is our first season with ZeroX, but we've called races with Jason Blaney in the past. I believe it was Lone Star Racing that he ran with back in the day. That's where we first had some time with him. We even had HBR TV, our prior name, on his race car and sponsoring him for race wins, that sort of thing, and he did a great job with it. He's got pace. He's a fast driver. We've known him to gamble, like you said, Zach, so we'll see if that comes to fruition later on. But with the tire fall off, I don't know. What kind of gambles are you going to take here when the fall off is what it is?
Well, the thing is, I mean, he's already 14 and a half seconds back from that leader, so that's a pretty far distance. I mean, that's not quite half track, but I'm telling you, you can't gamble, I guess, that much because you don't want to go a lap or more down.
Scary thing with that, he's 14 and some odd seconds back from the lead. He lost 11 and a half seconds on that pit stop. So he'd be in that top 3 for sure right now if that hadn't happened.
Yeah, he's definitely got work to do.
Meanwhile, battle for the lead shaping up side by side off of turn number 4. Youngblood and Hanneman going to be side by side across the line. Give it to Hanneman at the stripe. Youngblood trying to turn it down, but Hanneman a little bit later entry. And Hanneman's not bashful. He'll come up and slide job the 16, and a crossover from Youngblood gets back to the inside into turn 3.
Gotta love it. Multi-groove racing at its finest, Steve.
Great battle here for the lead, 53 laps in. Youngblood's able to hold him off for now, and how much battling do you think Hanneman's going to do here trying to get that lead back? I know he's a racer and he wants to be up there, but knowing that Youngblood has the long-run car right now, do you really want to abuse your stuff at this stage, or are you just riding behind, or do you worry about burning the right front off being in dirty air?
Well, that's kind of what it looked like there for a little ways, that he was riding behind Youngblood, kind of maybe seeing what he was doing, what his line looked like when he was getting off and on the gas. So maybe he picked up a little something here, and maybe it's time to get back in front of him and see if he can hold him off this time. But they look pretty darn even right now.
T. Kangas in the chat says the 367 took 2, not falling off too bad. But, man, I didn't see that car go up on Jack. So try to see if I can find that here in a minute. Get another peek at it. Meanwhile,
yeah,
go ahead, Zach.
The thing with 2 is it's tough if he took short fuel in 2, then it would be kind of a benefit. But if he still has to take a full tank of gas, which, I mean, we're kind of getting to that middle gen of the race here. You're going to have to get a full tank. It won't help you enough to benefit with 2.
Call.
And a caution on the speedway.
Fellas, we have got a very, very difficult
Jason Blaney
this
definitely
week, so make sure
likes
we're finding
this.
our P's and Q's.
Yeah, Blaney's loving this right now. I don't know who it was. I don't have any indication as to what triggered this caution. So if anybody knows, please let us know. We'll try and search out a replay for it. But once again, iRacing not sending the data of what triggered the caution, specifically which driver. It's the only way I know, unless it happens on frame. So there's Jim Treat running in the 5th spot. He's up 22. All right, so we'll go back to the Jim Treat pit stop. This was during our green flag cycle. Locked him up a little bit on entry. He was lucky to get her woed down. Dustin in the chat says a Ranchak self-spin. We'll go back and look at that after this. So Treat into the box. Yeah, Zach, that's no tires. He didn't take any.
Yeah, you don't see it go up there on the jacks at all. So, I mean, maybe he wanted to take 2 tires, but...
So Jason Aranchak triggering this caution. We'll see if we can find him here and get a look at that. Aranchak still on the speedway. Of course, pit stops will be underway here. Let's see what happened here at the 84. Off turn 4. We'll back it up a little further. I gotta say it, Zach. He did a good job taking care of that race car and also taking care of his competitors out there. Kept it low and kept it off the wall.
Yeah, if you're going to spin like that. Didn't collect anybody else, kept it out of the way. Good on him.
So Vincent Short into at number 1 pit box. His reward for sitting on pole, of course, he didn't get the track position, but it looks like Short goes fuel only as well. He'll head back out. So not a bad strategy play for the 15. Something that I'm sure he picked up running with the Num Thumbs Racing League back in the day. This is right up in his wheelhouse for a race that could help him be competitive with a shot to win tonight. Obviously a fast race car, but Num Thumbs Racing League traditionally ran races of similar lengths with 2 sets of tires every single week. It didn't matter if it was Daytona or the old Atlanta. You got 2. Figure it out.
And I tell you, and as simple as that sounds, that was some of the best league racing I've ever been a part of. It was so fun. You knew you were going to have 2 sets. You knew the race was really long. You're going to have to double stint 1 set. So it was pretty easy to figure out. You double stint the first set and hope for caution. If you don't get one, then you just save, and go like hell at the end.
It sounds so easy when you explain it, but it's really not.
No, you're just crossing your fingers that, 1, you don't get killed, and 2, that caution doesn't come out and ruin everything.
And we got Nikki Short in the chat. Haven't seen her in the Track Limits broadcast chat in quite some time. Nikki, thanks for checking in. Of course, cheering on her husband, Vincent Short. Short, the pole sitter here tonight. Looks like he may restart about 4th when we get back underway.
And that first stall pit box really did help there. I mean, that was a quick gas and go for him.
Yeah, just about 5-6 seconds for Vincent Short as we're doubled up already here, ready for the restart. Quickly, we'll recap the race. We'll take a look at things here. 59 laps in. Hanneman still the leader. 2 cautions for 6 laps and 8 lead changes up until this point. I gotta be honest, the majority of those as a result of pit stops, but nonetheless, we saw Hanneman and Youngblood battling it out pretty heavily for that top spot. Let's see. Youngblood take tires. It doesn't appear to be the case. It was about 7 seconds. Hanneman, though, 14.72 seconds on his last stop. That was 4 tires and fuel. However, he did not pit under this yellow. That's why he's got that track position and hangs on to the top spot as the pace truck heads to pit lane, ready for the restart here at Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Green flag.
And Zach, give it a couple of minutes. The lights here at Homestead will be coming on.
That's when things get serious.
I'm going to go on board here with Raymond Hanneman. Let's listen to where he's shifting, when he's shifting. He's in 4th gear here mid-corner right now. There's 5th gear. So we heard Dustin talk about it in the chat, how tight on entry the setup is. You heard him grab that gear on entry. Listen to it again here in turn number 1. Real high RPM. Zach, I'm going to let you explain why he's doing that.
Yeah, he's definitely having the gear itself help slow him down for that entry. And I think he's right with doing it, because I think if you keep it in 5th, maybe with this tighter setup, it'll just push the car right up the hill.
I've always found, at least on the road course side of thing, and it obviously can apply here on the ovals as well, you downshift early. You obviously run the risk of wheel hop on a road course, but it does help rotate the back of the car because you're not applying the brakes to the nose right away. It's almost like dialing in a lot of rear brake into the car because effectively the drive line is what's slowing the car down. So it does pitch the car out into yaw just a touch, helps loosen it up on entry. So that's at least my opinion and my experience. That's what I feel when I drive. We all drive differently, Zach, but it seems like it does pitch a little bit when he grabs that gear.
Yeah, and I usually like a loose race car myself. It's a little scarier with the next gen because there's just really no warning, when it snaps loose. So you want it to be yawed out as much as possible. But that little extra inch, that could be death.
Youngblood and Austin Walton battling for the second spot. Youngblood's got it now, and I think he's going to start to separate himself from the 9, but here comes Brandon Moore and Vincent Short. Short running in the 5th spot. But as the lights begin to come on here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, we are past halfway here from South Beach. We're going to step aside, get our track limits, side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Homestead-Miami Speedway, Raymond Hanneman continues to lead. Finally got around Carson Youngblood. But again, we're going to stretch this out here to the end of this run, keeping in mind that Hanneman pit last for tires at least, lap 43. So let's start looking around at lap 83-ish to see him come back down, at least for fuel. We'll see if he's going to take a set of tires or kind of suffer his way through to that last pit stop.
Well, it's a pretty good strategy, Steve. I mean, what do you do if somebody runs you down after X amount of laps and is faster than you on the long run? I would make sure I got newer tires than that guy.
It's tough because these guys both here at the front of the field, new tires or not, they're relatively evenly matched here. I mean, you look at the I rating, and again, that's not necessarily indicative of the pace of a particular driver. Hanneman's is almost double what Youngblood's is, but Carson's been able to hold his own. He's been right there in striking distance all race long. He's made relatively short work of Austin Walton to stretch the distance out back to P3. Gets the wall there a bit off of turn number 2. I don't know if he's listening to us. Sometimes that can get in your head. If I could give you any advice, sir, I would mute the broadcast.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Don't be peeking at this. But do have it up in the background, though, for the record, for the view.
Here's the other thing, too, Zach, as I'm looking at this. If Hanneman comes down and pits for fuel, he's going to probably have to try and stretch this. I know we had the caution from between 43 and then the last pit stop at 57, but Hanneman stayed out. If the fuel cell goes for about 40 laps, he'd be 2 laps short. That's without the caution. So I think he's going to probably try and save the best that he can, take this last set of tires, and that may be his final stop of the race.
Yeah, basically everything he does right now is setting up for that last stage there.
Walton and Brandon Moore about to come to blows here. Moore in the number 3 machine attacking the 9 of Walton. Short still running in P5. A solid day for Vincent Short so far. He's got Jason Blaney up his back bumper here. We've seen these two come together a couple of times this season. Both Vince and Blaney, both very aggressive drivers out here.
Blaney definitely shot out of a cannon, though, after this restart. Being as back as he was in the field, he knows he has to get that track position here at Homestead.
Now Blaney did come down and take a splash of fuel during that last caution, so his final stop will be his final stop. Hate to sound like John Madden there, but doesn't need to worry about how much tire in the tank he has. It's just a matter of when do you want to take that last set of tires. He may stretch the fuel to the very bitter end and then take the last set and hammer down all the way to the finish. Again, cautions change all of that, but the way this race has run so far, it's been pretty clean. I know we had a disastrous initial start, but only 1 caution since then.
Boy, I tell you, if one of these cars that did come down that last caution and take fuel and top off, boy, if they run their fuel right out there as far as they can in this run and the caution comes out late, boy, right in the driver's seat.
It's the other side of it, though. If Hanneman comes down and pits the end of his fuel window and he takes tires and the same happens, he might be in trouble, because that would put him at the end of that run on older tires versus Youngblood, depending on what he ends up doing on his pit stop. We know Youngblood was quicker at the end of the run, at least initially. That was a little bit hotter conditions here as it gets a little bit darker here in Miami.
I know that usually makes for pretty good TV, though, putting all the fast guys in the back and having them come up through the field.
All that said, though, track temp not really changing at all. It's pretty consistent at right about 78 degrees.
Oh, yeah, that's not even really that hot. I was kind of hoping it'd be 130 still.
Well, when the sun was out in some other sessions, AI sessions that I had popped up, it was 138 degrees, and that's going to be insane on tires, but not so much the case here tonight. We saw good racing as Short and Blaney come together again. Blaney spins down the racetrack and the caution comes out. Oh, monster hit for Short.
I think Vince hit the outside wall trying to catch it, and I think his steering was pretty much gone right there and then.
A solid run goes in the toilet for Vincent Short, and Short and Blaney come together yet again here this season.
And you hate to see that, too, after taking the pole. I mean, Vince had a fast car tonight for sure.
He had a fast car. He had to go to the back with the penalty. And that one won't buff out.
You know, even as wrecked as that car is, she still looks good.
Well, yeah. Stars and stripes, baby.
I mean, sparks help. Sparks make it look pretty cool.
Well, let's try to get a look at this here. Already into it here. We'll back it up. So you see Short and Blaney side by side here, exit at turn number 2. Short up top in the 15.
Blaney's just filled with that dirty air from that 3 car, and that car just went straight up the hill.
100%. But as David Bradford always likes to say, you can always lift.
Yeah, I mean, it is the responsibility of the passing car.
T. Kangas in the chat says Code Brown for the 72, but he didn't really get through scot-free. Definitely made contact with Short. Right front damage on the 72 with Stange.
Darn, he almost made that too.
Pit stops underway. Hanneman leaving pit lane with right side tires only.
Interesting.
Youngblood down and away with 4.
There might be something to these 2-tire pit stops, Steve. These setups might be so tight that the 2 tires might loosen that thing right up and make it turn.
Get out of my brain. I was going to say it earlier and I completely forgot.
Telling you, it's reminding me of some tracks in the past with these fixed setups.
Well, it was this series too.
2.
Brandon Moore took 2, and I think it was between him and Hanneman at the time. I think Moore ended up with the win. I could have it backwards, but somebody took lefts instead of 4, and they said it was great because the car just actually rotated wonderfully after doing so. If they had known that, it probably would have been the call all night long.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to really help your entry. It's going to help your apex significantly. But the exit, I don't know, man. I'd like 2 fresh tires in the back driving me up towards that wall.
So Chris Stange will jump to the front of the field here. He pit last at lap 57. It's the same story for second place Jeanette and third place Jason Blaney. They have stayed out. That said, those guys likely have one more set of tires parked over pit wall, so they're kind of banking on a caution to come out here when this one's getting near its end. Gives them an opportunity. Vincent Short in the chat. Blaney battling 1,000 with me. And he's got the frowny face going. He was definitely battling. You guys, those guys are always fighting each other, but at the same time, Zach, you're right. Brandon Moore was right there in front of Jason, took all the air off the nose of that 22. But it goes back to what I said. With David Bradford in the PSRA Open ARCA Series, you can always lift. It gets a whole lot easier to turn when you get out of the throttle, but I know Jason Blaney's not one of those guys to back off. Brian McCann, another one of those guys, quote, I never lift.
Yeah, but he makes it work all the time.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Curious how quickly they're going to eat up Stange here.
Looks like pretty quick. It's going to be 3 wide here coming off turn 2.
Nope, Stange hangs onto it. Blocks the outside lane a little bit. Now a crossover here from Wesley Jeanette. Side battle for second. Wesley Jeanette takes the race lead. Blaney to the bottom on Chris Stange. Brandon Moore is going to follow him through. Raymond Hanneman making hay on the outside in 5th. Carson Youngblood back in the 9th position after his 4-tire change, but don't worry too much. He's just got to keep the fenders on that machine, take care of it here to the end. We know he's fast on old tires.
Yeah, there's enough laps left to have that make a difference. I mean, we're still pretty early in this last run here.
Jeanette, Blaney, Moore, Stange, and Youngblood. Youngblood up 4 spots since we talked about him last. Now Youngblood taking advantage of the 4 tires, taking a peek to the inside on Chris Stange for 4th. Gets alongside, gets clear, just drives away.
Well, he made that look easy. That's the difference of grip and no grip right there. He had to drive off the exit.
A little bit of clean air between him and 3rd place, Brandon Moore. He's just going to have to drive on up there and get after it.
I like what he's doing, though. He's just, like I said before, he's just rolling the bottom. He's making time, but he's not sliding the fronts and driving too hard and burning his stuff right off. He's taking care of it. He's coming up quick enough. He knows he's got time.
Chris Stange free falling through the field. Back to 9th now as the 88 of Cornette working to the outside. Hanneman in behind. And Hanneman went with 2 tires here right now. I don't know if he's at a stage where he's regretting that decision, but right now he's still mired back here in the pack in the 11th spot.
And Hanneman's in kind of a bee's nest here. Even with the fresher stuff, that dirty air is going to really give him hell.
Deepest Squally there in the middle of a 3 wide with Scott Stockel in the 5.
Ooh, one car big time loose there.
Oh, Deepest Squally up the racetrack.
Yeah, that started right in
Still
about
no
turn
caution.
3.
There it is.
Caution. How you doing in there, kids?
Johnny Deepest Squally, the first one out of shape. Zach called it as it happened off turn number 4, but 4th caution of the night. Now it's decision time. There's definitely some guys out there with a set of tires, but Zach, is it late enough for them to do it, or do they really have to gamble big time here and wait for another one?
I don't know. I don't like the gamble. If you wait too long, I mean, even with the fresh tires, it takes a while to get through this field with all that dirty air. And right now it looked like, give or take, it was about 3/10 faster than, or slower rather than their fast laps on really fresh tires. So they'll be faster a little bit right off the bat, but I think later it'll start to pay off, probably just in the nick of time.
Problem is, there's 19 cars still on the lead lap, so that's a lot of work to do, but I feel like if they wait to do it later, even with the bigger advantage, I think it can kind of go either way, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, you know how these races get when it's late. I mean, it's going to be 3-4 wide and really nowhere to go.
So we're getting a second look at this here. We'll back it up a little further. Looks like there might have been some contact with Stockel and Deepest Squally. Indeed, there was. Stockel just inches up off the bottom a hair, and then Deepest Squally comes down at the same time. They kind of meet in the middle. Doesn't full-on spin Johnny, but he gets a little crossed up. He's tank slapping here a little bit, trying to save the race car. Of course, that's going to break his momentum quite a bit.
And Johnny's on the gas right here. You watch this thing turn right before it goes back left right there. He's trying to catch back up to that 5 car.
Gets into the 78 of Canright, and in the wall they go. Meanwhile, we got some pit stops underway, and quite a few of them. Wesley Jeanette from the lead. He'll come down and pit, likely to take last set of tires as the right side goes in the air. 4-tire change for the 74. Derek Buckaloo also on pit lane. So Youngblood stays out. So does Jim Treat, Chris Cornette, Chris Pieria, Blake Hochschild. They pit at lap 81, just 9 laps ago compared to this stop. I don't know, Zach. I think it's anybody's race at this point. There's a lot of different strategies at play here.
Yeah, and I like where Youngblood is. he's still got pretty new tires. You know, not the freshest, obviously, in the field, but his long run pace might be that difference.
Well, that's just the factor there, is that first run especially, at the end of the run, within, I'd say, 5 to 10 laps of the end of the fuel, Youngblood was absolutely faster than Hanneman, who's going to restart in the 6th spot, but he took he took tires this time. 9.5 seconds was the stop for Hanneman, so could have been 2 tires. In fact, let's see if I can find it. There's a big list here.
Yeah, I wonder if he had right sides left. I mean, the lefts probably won't do a whole lot for him, but... Ooh, there we go. Right side's in the air.
So this was the pit stop just a moment ago for Raymond Hanneman. Right side's certainly going in the air. Let's see if he gets 4. I don't think so with a 9-second stop. So right side tire change again for Raymond Hanneman. T. Kangas in the chat with the age-old question. Track position or tires? Hanneman went with both. Right sides and track position.
Both is good. But clean air is huge, too, here at Homestead. But I don't know. I like Hanneman's spot, but he's only in 6th. He doesn't have that far to go.
Yep, row 3 for the 85. He's still got a shot here. Youngblood, though, real good on the old tires. He's only got 9 lap older than the rest of those guys. I don't know. This could really come down to anybody with Youngblood and Jim Treat now on the front row as we get ready to go.
Green flag.
Laps to go from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Carson Youngblood, a front runner all night long, maintains the top spot. But Chris Cornett, a front runner at the beginning of the race, part of an accident. I don't want to blame him, but kind of started the accident between him and Youngblood at the time. He gets into the back of the 16, and he's going for the race lead now. Cornett on rails, bottom of the racetrack. 4-tire change at lap 81, and we got trouble, or do we? Jason Blaney in trouble.
They're still trying.
Caution
on the speedway as Blaney spins down here at the front stretch.
Help it if we do get another restart?
Man, Blaney's getting his drifting practice in tonight, isn't he?
So that helps Hanneman. He's up to 4th now. Well, Zach, you can tell the pay window's about to open because these guys are really up on the wheel now.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot less giving. Not that there was a whole lot of giving before, but there's going to be less of it now.
So back it up a little bit further here. It was Chris Pieria and Jason Blaney at the end of this, and might have been the whole ride. Pieria up the track. Yeah, he's drifting up. He'll get into the left rear, Jason Blaney. And we said it earlier, Zach, you can always lift.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what happened to Vince, you know?
Vincent Short in the chat. He says karma.
It is pretty similar. I mean, it really is. I mean, I think the 13 escaped a lot more, though. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to hit this wall too hard here.
I don't want to pile on to anybody, but Short's obviously a little unhappy about the circumstances with him and Blaney, but he had a fast race car tonight, put it on pole, had to go to the back, and got it up into the top 5 again, and his race ends a little bit early. So Blaney's shown back in the 20th position behind Chris Pieria. Chris Cornett, the race leader, over Carson Youngblood. And only a handful of drivers are going to come down and pit. Matt Sisler is one of them. Of course, Jason Blaney, after that slide, he may come down. I don't know if he's got a set of tires. He's only made 3 pit stops to this point. We'll watch that here in a minute. He may be able to salvage at least a solid finish here tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, you give Matt Sisler fresh tires at the end of a race, he's going to have time to get that front damage fixed, too, a little bit, I think. There's no give up in that guy, though.
Well, it's just damage repair for Sisler. Or the same for Jason Blaney. He had taken his final set. Matt Sisler in the chat. Car's still junk. About 4 minutes and 30 seconds of damage to be repaired. So he's just trying to salvage what he can.
That's so tough at a place like this where your aerodynamics are just so important. You go from driving a NASCAR where it likes to get the downforce and turn for you to driving a dump truck.
Well, they're already dump trucks.
That's true. Just better looking dump trucks.
Fair.
The Chevys, at least.
So field is doubled up, ready for a restart here in the latter stages. Miami Beach 125. Front row is going to be Chris Cornett and Carson Youngblood. Youngblood on the outside is ready for green.
Green flag.
Cornett through to the race lead. Youngblood in second. Treat, Hanneman, Walton, the top five as they roll off of turn number 2 and spill onto the back straightaway. One car in the wall. Keeps his foot in it. Hanneman going to take advantage here. Try to take the third spot from Jim Treat. Treat still working around the outside. Zach, if I didn't know any better, I would think there's like 5 laps to go, but we got 24 laps to go.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are definitely running like it's about the last lap. Every lap.
Walton makes a look to the inside on Hanneman. Walton with better tires here. He's going to likely power by the 85 in the next corner or two.
I think Hanneman kind of figured out that being on the bottom side of Jim Treat there just wasn't going to help his cause. He was just going to burn his stuff up and not make any headway. So we'll see if he makes any headway going up to the top here. But yeah, the 9 car is giving him some trouble.
Hanneman holds on, though. Stays clear of the 9 on the older set of tires. They both pit the same time, but Hanneman took rights only. T. Kangas in the chat. Real racers, 4 tires and a motor. It ends at the checkers. I'm not 100% sure what she's getting at as far as real racers, maybe just all of them, but I don't know. The guys that take 2 tires and still manage to get it done after they put them up on the dash, that's usually pretty impressive, because 2 tires for some guys are just undrivable because it absolutely changes the handling characteristics of the race car. If you can get it done on 2, you've done something.
Yeah, especially at a place like Homestead. I mean, it's just so treacherous. You know, you're really on the razor's edge most of the race. So, yeah, if they can make that work, man, more power to them.
Hanneman and Treat still battling, but Hanneman doesn't seem to have the momentum to get clear. I don't know if it's tires or dirty air, but either way, now he's got to worry about the 9 of Austin Walton to take away that 4th position. Treat starts to get away. Vincent Short in the chat says 2 tires rocks. And Hanneman's in the wall.
That's that famous next-gen wall tap. See how much speed he actually gained off of it.
I think we're under
Caution on the speedway. Oh, there's trouble. Brandon Moore, I think. All I saw was some blue. Nope, wasn't Brandon Moore. Once again, guys, if you can help me out here, who was it on the backstretch having trouble there? I don't have any indication as to who it was. Oh, Michael Thorne. Thorne and Chris Pieria.
Just might have looked like a not clear type of deal. Yeah, indeed.
So with that, will we see any takers on pit road? I know we only had 2 sets of tires here tonight, but does anybody have a set land? Did anybody gamble?
Boy, I hope so.
Doesn't appear we've got any takers in the top 10. Matt Sisler's going to come down, likely for more repairs. With that, though, we're going to step aside very briefly here, get a quick break out of the way. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Homestead-Miami Speedway on the 1 to go here, ready for a restart yet again after our 6th caution of the night. Take a look here at our race recap yet again. Lap 109 of 125. Current leader is Chris Cornett. We've had 6 cautions for 19 laps and 10 lead changes. How many more will we see? Does Carson Youngblood have something up his sleeve for the 88 of Chris Cornett? He's had a strong car all night. I really haven't seen the 16, at least under green flag conditions, anywhere south of 2nd place. Had a real fast race car tonight and consistent at that, but he's got Raymond Hanneman in behind him here for this restart. Inside lane will be Cornett and Jim Treat. Base truck is in.
green flag.
Cornett with a big jump. Fires off right away, and he'll run away from Carson Youngblood with 16 to go. Treat and Hanneman roughly side by side. Treat sticks it to the outside for just a moment, but Hanneman powers off out of the corner. Two-by-two battle all the way back after the front four. Walton up the racetrack, chases the 91 of Hochschild. Oh, three wide, and they come together across start finish. Brandon Moore, Austin Walton together, the caution's out again.
Well, they're still wrecking into one. There is a yard sale to the left screen here.
Let's take a look. Walton already around and backwards here into turn one. Sisler gets a big chunk of it. Buckaloo, Stockel, Ranchak.
Pretty much a track block.
You see Moore and Walton together. Buckaloo really... No, I thought he was going to get through there, but Stockel slides up the track. Ranchak, same story. Pieria, the same thing. Sisler gets an opportunity to add to that time on his fixing.
Yep, unfortunately. Be interested to see where this started. It kind of just looked like maybe the 9 car just was going to move up to the wall, regardless as if Moore wasn't there or not.
So Walton's there.
Maybe
Moore
he just
has
didn't anticipate the speed.
Yeah, Moore had a big run, and he's really trying to thread the needle there between the wall and the 9. Then Jeanette's coming up, so Walton's probably thinking, I got nowhere to go here.
Yeah, you could actually see Moore drive it into the wall just to stay off him as long as possible.
He really did. I mean, again, third time tonight. You can always lift.
Yeah, that is the trend here at Homestead tonight. But then again, what do we have? Like 15 laps to go. There's not many people are lifting now.
Not even that. Yeah, it's getting just over 10 laps left. I think we're 11 or 12 to go. And honestly, I think Moore would have been relatively okay if he hadn't gotten clipped after the fact.
Yeah, I think if he stayed in it, he would have been good. I don't know if he was backing it down there, thinking he was clear of the commotion or not, but...
Moore's going to get back out there. He's shown in the 14th position. Car looks okay, but we saw somebody earlier where the car looked good, and it was tore up. Sisler in the chat says, by the way, Steve, 0 damage added somehow. Car already is broke, so apparently nothing added, shockingly.
Sisler just driving out there, one hand on the wheel, one hand on a cell phone, just bringing it in, letting the guys work. That's surfing YouTube.
Hey, give me an ice cream. Well, at least Sisler's got a sense of humor about it. What else can you really do? Vincent Short says, spotters would have been helpful to listen to there. True. Well, double up 2x2 here as the pace truck will make the left turn into pit lane. Maybe our final restart of the night. Cornette Youngblood once again on the front row. Oh, trouble. It's just like the initial start, and Hanneman goes around.
You will have a caution.
Again, and Cornette gets away with the lead.
Clean this mess up here. Coming into the box is the part that I'm mainly concerned about.
Man, oh man.
Zach, I want to go back here because you missed it at the very beginning. I want to try and see if I can show it to you. Here was the green flag.
It's going to look a lot like this. It's going to look very similar, I'm pretty sure.
This was the beginning.
Oh, it's so bright.
Well, it's daytime.
I don't see daytime very often. Was it a single file back here?
No, I got it all screwy.
Oh. I was going to say, how many penalties was there last week?
The problem is there's been an issue here with iRacing tonight not sending data when you want it to. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this here. I hate using the fast forward and rewind buttons, but unfortunately I don't have a point of reference to go back to do this. So we're just going to do it the old-fashioned slow way.
So let's see. They're probably going to go green next time by.
Yeah, because they ran 2 laps of yellow before they went green just to try and get the EOLs figured out.
We're looking at P4 here.
Yep, and you're going to watch the 88. He'll get into the back of Carson Youngblood on the actual start. And there was definitely some netcode involved there on this initial start here with Youngblood because he blinks out as soon as the 88 makes contact. So there was definitely some kind of an issue there. And I promise you guys, we'll go back to the current replay here in just a minute. Yeah, see blink right there, too, off of 4. Again, this is coming to green.
Oof. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow.
And that's just about what we just saw here on the restart. So we'll go back to it right now. Man, I don't know what happened to Hanneman there. Did he spin the tires and go up the track?
It certainly looked like it from that angle.
Gets bumped, gets into Cornette, and then it just hooks right.
Yeah, might have to do an in-car to see if those RPMs spiked up. Second gear. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Steve. You can see that thing light right to the moon. I think I mentioned that earlier. You know, you get later in the run, these tires have some heat in them. Even in that second gear, restarts they're scary here at Homestead.
Chris Pieria showing a black flag here in the 10th spot. He's still out on the racetrack. Don't know if he's going to have to come down and serve it for one reason or another. We're doubled up here, ready for the restart. Under 10 laps to go here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Cornette and Youngblood, imagine that, on the front row. Wesley Jeanette, Blake Hochschild, 3rd and 4th in the 2nd row.
Get down to it here. We'll see if Cornette can get another great restart. That might be the difference here.
Zach, I got to say here, I feel like we're running into a situation where we're going to get a surprise winner here tonight. I don't know if it's going to be any of the guys we expected, but we'll see. Pace truck is in. Green flag about to go back in the air. And there it is. Green flag is in the air. Coming to 7 laps to go. Cornette gets away. Jeanette works the outside lane. Youngblood runs in 2nd. Side by side off of 2. Hochschild there to the bottom of Jeanette. Everybody fanning out here down the back straightaway. 4 wide behind them. Pasquale in the mix there. Nathan Lyon in the bottom of Walton goes up to gut. They're 3, almost 4 wide as Blaney thought about going to the top. Oh, close
man,
quarters again.
That was a wreck that just didn't happen.
Looking for a place to have it. Deepest Wally in the fence here, entry to turns 1 and 2. For the race lead, Youngblood has run down Chris Cornett. Is this where the 16 machine comes into play?
I think we're going to see Cornett kind of driving the mirror here. He knows Youngblood's fast on that bottom. Let's see if he just stays in front of him and keeps that dirty air pack rate on him.
Youngblood in the wall.
Youngblood, he's sending it right now. Caution
5
to the
to
wind.
go. Cornett still with the lead, and as we've seen all night long, Youngblood has been able to run in the wake of the race leader without problems. Goes to the outside.
Yeah, that's the thing, Steve. He's got to run where Chris Cornett is not. He's got to keep as much air on his nose as possible. If he runs behind him, he just won't get that downforce and make the turn.
Lost some ground there through 1 and 2. Goes to the top yet again. I think he was a little late to go up top in 1 and 2. Might have caused that problem that you were talking about, Zach. Dirty air certainly dumping on the nose of the 16. Running out of time. 5 laps to go.
I think Youngblood's going to have a really good run here off 2. You can see the time disappearing. He's coming right to his bumper. Right here, you can almost see the dirty air just mess with that Youngblood car. Youngblood trying a different line there. Kind of started high into one and then went down off the exit.
Cornett still with a lead, coming to 1 lap to go. Off turn 4. Cornett with the lead, white flag in the air, final lap here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. 3.5, 4 tenths, 4.5, almost 5 tenths now back to Youngblood. Cornett's got this in hand. If he can just run some clean half a lap.
Ooh, Youngblood hard in the wall.
He's given everything he's got, and it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, he'd be lucky if he can hang on to that P2 if he didn't hurt that car.
Chris Cornett from a 4th place starting position found himself in the right position, able to drive away from Carson Youngblood. He'll win the Miami Beach 125 here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Chris Cornett with the win, leads 26 laps. Carson Youngblood comes in to give the congratulatory bump to the 88. Oh, he just turns him.
Careful, guys. That thing has to go through inspection still.
Yeah, well, it's easier to detect when it's tore up. Chris Cornett with the win. Youngblood second. Wesley Jeanette had a fast car all night long. He finishes 3rd. He's just going to say, you know, I'm going to do my donuts right here. Why not?
They actually look pretty cool on the banking. This might be a new thing.
I think he's got the rear tires a little hot right now.
Yeah, it looks it. Better just put that in reverse and get to the front straight away.
T. Kangas in the chat says, Chris Stange says, that's the hardest I've ever worked for a 13th place finish. Template? What template?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Dustin Rogerson in the chat. I remember my first burnout.
Yeah, I was thinking it.
Well, that'll do it for our race winner, Chris Cornett. We're going to step aside, get one more break out of the way, hopefully have our top three in the booth after this. Stay with us. We'll come right back. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Homestead-Miami Speedway, this one in the books, and Chris Cornett from the fourth place starting position picks up the race win. Let's see if we can get a word with our race winner. Chris, it's Steve and Zach Milton in the broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yes, sir.
Chris, congratulations, man. A job well done here tonight. Didn't see a whole lot of you after that first lap, or first 100 feet for that matter. Crazy incident. First, I want to ask, what really happened there? You guys are coming up to speed for the initial start. Looks like a little bit of contact to the back bumper of Carson Youngblood, and then a melee after that. What was it from your point of view?
Yeah, no, it was just, it's weird to say. He looked like he went, and then he kind of slowed up real quick, like he missed a shift or something. Or maybe spun his tires, and I didn't react quick enough. And I got in the back of him, which caused me to spin my tires and turn left into Matt Sisler. And then it spun us around. And then I got like a minute, 44 seconds of damage, and I was a lap down that tire race. I was just hoping for a miracle.
Well, you got that miracle. You got back on the lead lap, and when the time came, you had to survive a handful of restarts there at the end of this thing. Carson Youngblood, average running position tonight, right there in that second spot all night long. Had to run down Raymond Hanneman, couldn't get there, got there at the end of the run. Couldn't do it to you at the end with those short runs with the cautions. Was there any thought in your mind that Carson was going to run you down and make that pass?
Yeah, I mean, if he got a good run on the outside, but from the looks of it, he was just overdriving it, trying to get to my outside, just washing up. Once I saw him continuously doing that, and then he stayed behind me on the bottom after that, then I knew it was basically mine to lose. So, but yeah, that was a heck of a race.
Well, certainly a job well done. You held off the 16 for the rest of this race. You parked that thing in Victory Lane. Pick up the win here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Next week, though, we go to Indianapolis. I'm pretty sure we're on the big track at Indy, not the IRP version of it. But how do you prepare yourself for a place like Indy, so unique, so challenging for these stock cars?
Just make sure you don't overdrive the entries to 1 and 3, because straightaways are so long, and then draft pull you, and just hit your marks right and basically stay out of trouble.
All right, Chris, well, you stayed out of trouble tonight with the exception of lap number 1. You battled back. You pick up the win here tonight. Congratulations. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Thanks to ZeroX being designed, teammates, especially Carson there, running me clean, running me hard, but running me clean. Thank you for the streams. Your streams are awesome, like always. And Precision Speed Solutions for coming on board. If you want to get your open setups for the A car, B car, C car, we even do dirt now for the late models. Go to Precision Speed, precisionspeed.gg. Use Cornet10 to get 10% off.
Fair enough. We'll check it out, Chris. Thanks for talking to us. Congratulations again, man. Good luck next week.
Appreciate it.
Chris Cornett, your race winner here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Next, we'll talk to Carson Youngblood, driver of the number 16 machine. Finishes out in the second spot. Pull him up into the broadcast booth and get a word with him. Carson Youngblood, Steve and Zach in the Track Limits booth. You got a copy?
10-4, how are you guys?
We're doing good, Carson. A job well done tonight, man. Awesome run tonight. Second place start, second place finish. I know you wanted that win hard tonight. Thought it was going to come down between you and Raymond Hanneman. It was not meant to be. He got caught out into traffic tonight and into a wreck. He finishes in the 14th spot, but I think your average run position tonight, second place. You were fast out of the gate. You stayed there most of the night. Long run speed for sure, but what was the difference maker there at the end in what failed to let you catch Chris Cornett?
Yeah, that I want to say last caution. We had that long green flag run, and we got a caution right there with like 40 laps left in the race, right at the fuel window. And I think that messed both me and Raymond up. We both pitted and took our stuff, and then Chris took his tires about, I think, 5 or 10 laps later, and he just had a little bit better stuff at the end of it. I couldn't quite get back to him.
Well, a second place finish, certainly nothing to be upset about. We roll into Indy next week. I think it's Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I don't know if it's IRP. I think it's the big track. But if it is the big track, which we suspect that it is, how do you prepare for Indianapolis? It's very long straightaways. You got to really set yourself up for 1 and 3, as Chris Cornett had mentioned. Is that a place that you think you can run well at?
I definitely. That's the one I had circled on my calendar. That's one of the ones. This one in Indy. I like the way you got to go down and get the bottom of the track, and if you're not there, you're out of it. So I definitely think you got to have a fast qualifying lap. It's going to be hard to pass. It'll be single driven, hard to pass. So I think if you can start up front, you can stay there and save a little bit of fuel. But I'm excited for it.
Certainly looking forward to it. Congratulations on a runner-up finish here tonight, Carson. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I got to thank the Lord for everything he does for me, getting me out here. ZeroX Media and Design, I wish I could have won it, but it was a great race. I'm glad if I didn't win it, another teammate won it. So congratulations to Chris, Southern Premier Contractors, Youngblood Upholstery, the Diggerson Group, Compass, SPC, just everybody that helps my real race car. I've got a Legends race coming up in a few weeks, so you can follow me on Facebook at Youngblood Racing and Instagram Carson Youngblood Racing to check us out for this season. We got some pretty excited stuff coming in 2026, so I'm excited. Thank you guys for putting this on.
Where is that Legend race, by the way?
That race will be in Cordele, Georgia, Speedfest.
Going to Cordele. Watch out for Carson Youngblood and the Legends at Cordele. Carson, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week in Indy.
Thank you guys.
Carson Youngblood, runner-up here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Next, we'll talk to Wesley Jeanette, our third-place finisher. He had a fast car. He had a winning race car here tonight, just didn't get there into victory lane. Wesley Jeanette, third-place finisher, 8 positions gained to finish in that third spot. Wesley, it's Steve and Zach in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Wesley, congratulations, man. A job well done. You had a fast race car. You're seemingly getting faster each and every week, getting closer and closer to that P1 finish. What was the key to success here tonight, and what was the difference maker in you finishing third versus picking up a win tonight?
The key was I got lucky to dodge some of those incidents. I think 2 or 3 of those happened either right in front of me or right beside me. So maybe a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill escaping that. But the key to what I needed to be able to maybe catch those guys was a little more green there at the end. So maybe if we hadn't had those last couple cautions, I could have got to them. But I pretty much was using my stuff up, trying to keep up there at the end. So, but yeah, happy with the finish. Like I said, stepped away for a while, came back, and I feel like I'm getting a little better every time we go out. So we can put it in victory lane before the season's up.
Well, it's definitely showing up in the results column each and every week. Wesley, third place finish here tonight. We move to Indy next week. I think we're at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Not sure if it's IRP or the big track. Likely the big track because, I don't know, IRP is fun, but we got to go to the big track. How do you prepare for a place like Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Laps. Just laps. Get with the teammates and try the different lines and be prepared for whatever our opponents throw at us, which is going to be a lot because there's some good drivers in here.
Certainly looking forward to it. Wesley, congrats again here. Third place finish at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
My Fueled Up boys. You guys are doing a great job on the broadcast. I'll be watching it back here in just a little bit. All of our great sponsors that I can never remember, but Clark Heating and Cooling, because I'm staring right at it. It's on the car, and Dubby and HD Radio and everybody that helps us do this thing.
All right, Wesley, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week in Indy.
All right, thanks, man.
Wesley Jeanette, third place here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. That'll do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look here at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3 already. Chris Cornett, Carson Youngblood, Wesley Jeanette. Juan Linares snuck up there and finished 4th. We didn't talk about him a whole lot here tonight, but had a solid finish tonight. Jason Blaney, I don't know how that guy did it. He was backwards, sideways, 2 or 3 times at least tonight still. Never quit. No quit in the 22. He finishes 5th. Blake Hochschild was 6th. Tom Pulte was 7th. Brandon Moore, 8th. Austin Walton, 9th. Thought he would have a better run. He was up near the front late in this race. Finishes still top 10, but in 9th. Ken Lowry was 10th. Johnny DePasquale was 11th. Jim Treat was 12th. Chris Stange, 13th. Raymond Hanneman, 14th. 15th place went to Matt Sisler. Chris Pieria, 16th. Jaron Jones was 7th. Nathan Line, 18th. Tom Janikowski, 19th. Austin Boyum finishes in the 20th position. 21st was Jason Aranchak. 22nd, Scott Stockel. Derek Buckaloo was 23rd. 24th, Don Canwright. Michael Thorne, 25th. Jackson West, 26th. Vincent Short, after sitting on pole, finishes 27th. 45 laps down. That's just crazy. In a wreck with Jason Blaney, Blaney finishes 5th. Short, 27th. And Robbie Good out of this one really early. 28th place finish and 111 laps down. That's your race results here from the Miami Beach 125 ZeroX Strategy Series. Stay tuned next week. Be here, same time, same channel, Track Limits Network, about 8:25 in the East. Indianapolis. It's going to be good, whether we're at the big track or the small track. I think we're at the big track. I hope we're at the big track. I love that place. Zach, what are your thoughts, man?
It's fun to watch, man. Homestead always delivers. I think next week, Indianapolis, a couple of those guys hit the nail on the head, man. It's going to be a big drafting show. You're going to want to get in that top lane, get behind somebody, and hang on.
Going to see the slithery snake down the straightaways here, trying to break up that draft before they get down into turns 1 and 3. It's going to be a fun one to watch, no matter what. I don't care what kind of race we have at Indy. If it's at the big track, I don't care. It's a good race no matter what. It's always fun to go to Indy. Thank you guys all for tuning in here tonight. T. Kangas, Vincent Short, ZeroX Media, Jackson West, everybody that jumped into the stream chat here tonight, thank you 1,000 times. I got to tell you, this is the busiest stream chat we ever have, week by week by week. I got to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. You really help this broadcast every time you're jumping in there and chatting it up. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we do appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, like, follow, share, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. It's free to do all of those things. We don't charge a subscription fee to follow the channel. We don't charge you to like. That's free to do. And it pushes these streams out to some fresh eyeballs, some people that may not have seen what's going on here at Track Limits, may not have seen what's going on at ZeroX Strategy Series. It's a good thing across the board, so help us out. Hit that thumbs up, like the stream, and help get some new people here watching what's going on. It's going to do it for us. For Zach Millen, I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.